I mean, what is happening here? The Jophie divorce has truly shook us all to the core. Joe Jonas, Sophie Turner. This went from 0 to 100. This is our first headline in the Pop 3. This was a close contender for the deep dive this week. And this is just going to be another deep dive. I'm just going to tell you straight up. So have fun. Okay. Joe Jonas is the one that filed for divorce from Sophie Turner. Irretrievably broken is what he said. Sounds rough. Doesn't sound like a good time. And I don't have a lot of experience with divorce, but irretrievably broken. I don't know if that's the same thing as like irreconcilable differences or whatever, but it just sounds traumatic. Not what you want, but they've been together for 4 years. They've been married for 4 years. They have 2 daughters. And this story exploded so quickly. It got kind of shifted into the Labor Day weekend news dump, you know, all the celebrities that put out all these bad headlines because they don't want people to notice over Labor Day weekend. The news came out that Joe had people in his team meeting with a couple of different divorce attorneys. Everyone was like, what? No, not Joe and Sansa Stark, Queen of the North. Never. I mean, these two to me were just such a match made in heaven. And then you get to the Jonas Brothers shows over the weekend and Joe is wearing his wedding ring. He's singing, I won't hesitate for you. You know, the love letter penned to Sophie Turner. He's posting pictures of himself with his wedding ring on. So we're like, somebody doesn't know what they're talking about here. They're clearly never getting divorced. And then Tuesday rolls around and they're straight up getting divorced. Joe filed in Miami, irretrievably broken. And I mean, it's hard we don't know what is going on behind closed doors, but everything is coming out from Joe's side. I don't know if it's Joe's camp. I don't know if it's Joe's team. I don't know if it's people in Joe's inner circle, but we're hearing a lot of narratives coming from Joe Jonas's side and none coming from Sophie Turner's side. And the picture that's being painted here is Joe's a homebody. Sophie likes to go out. Sophie likes to party. And it's just not sitting right with me and a lot of other people. So a source told Page Six that divorce was the last resort for Joe. He never wanted to break up his family, but he had to take what he felt was the best course of action for his girls. An unhappy home isn't a home. And the truth is that he and Sophie were going through it this year. There's a lot of noise out there, but it wasn't a straw that broke the camel's back situation like it's being reported. They had many disagreements. It just kept building, and Joe finally reached a point where he felt that he had exhausted all options to salvage their marriage. I mean, do you need a disclaimer? I'm wearing a Kevin t-shirt, and that's all it says. I'm a Joe Bros girl for life. I'm a Joe girl. Well, I mean, I'm a Kevin girl, honestly, but I'm also a Joe girl, but I don't like this. I mean, first of all, it's all his team. Like I said, people speaking on his behalf. I would love to hear from her or her team or something, but they're painting her out to be this party girl, absent mother. You go on all the websites and the only pictures that they're posting of Sophie Turner is of her with a drink in her hand. And it just grosses me out. That the media are only picking these types of pictures to have of her and Joe together. Like, where's the picture of Joe chugging a beer? Like, it, you know what I mean? It just is very obvious to me what they're trying to do. And I don't like it. And I just want to make it abundantly clear. I don't think that this is Joe Jonas doing this. But somebody out there is really pushing that narrative. And I just feel like there's probably more to the story. Why would somebody want to throw the mother of Joe's children underneath the bus like that? It just feels gross. And I mean, you really can't put claims out there into the universe without the internet fact checking you real quick. I mean, there's been tons of videos on TikTok of Sophie being like, I'm the homebody. And this goes back years, interviews from years ago. I'm the homebody. Joe likes to go out. There was a couples video of the two of them And they were like, who's the homebody? And they both pointed to Sophie. And it's like, but so what? As long as you're a good wife, a good mother, a good husband, a good father, so what if you like to go out? Is that I guess I'm missing a key factor here. It's like if you go out so much that you then neglect your home, that's a problem. But they're not saying that straight out. I mean, Sophie was 23 when they got married and he was 29. And now a lot of other narratives are that, she was on Game of Thrones for her entire teenage years into early adulthood. She got married at 23. She had 2 babies. Now she's 27 and she feels like she missed out on the party stage of life, which I understand. I mean, sometimes that happens, but I don't know. I'm just not feeling right about it. There's just something in my gut that doesn't feel right about it. Joe's team, his people, whoever in his inner circle out there planting seeds left and right. And we've only heard from Sophie one time, and it was on her Instagram story, a joint statement that they made on Canva. Let me pull it up real quick. It's the classic. White background, black text. Statement from the two of us. After 4 wonderful years of marriage, we have mutually decided to amicably end our marriage. There are many speculative narratives as to why, but truly, this is a united decision, and we sincerely hope that everyone can respect our wishes for privacy for us and our children. And it wasn't even like a joint post, posted by both Joe and Sophie. It was like he posted it on hers, she posted it on his, and like he tagged her in it, which to me is just the most awkward thing ever. Imagine like getting on Instagram, seeing you have a tag post from your soon to be ex-husband, thinking like, oh, I wonder what it is. And it's your divorce statement. You just, I hate it. I hate it for them. Last but certainly not least, the newest tidbit of information to TMZ is that Joe allegedly caught Sophie in a compromising situation on a Ring camera. There's really no details on what that was, whether she was doing something, saying something, talking to someone. But like I said, there's probably 10 different headlines right now that are coming from what it seems like Joe's side, and it's like crickets on Sophie's. And I think it's just trying to paint a picture really early on because this happened so quick. I mean, this whole thing has exploded within the span of like 4 or 5 days. And I don't like the picture that they're trying to paint.